Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with laughs, gags, and gossip. Now let's get into the mess. Hey family, welcome back to the channel, Laugh, Gags, and Gossip. And I just wanted to come on camera just for a second because, you know, I've been doing a lot of videos on the Shanquella Robinson case. And I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to people that have been sending me DMs and messages and everything. But I do want to say one thing. I'm typically a really happy-go-lucky person. But I do want to say for those of you who get into the comments and have all this ish to say about do this, do that, and all the negativity and telling me how I should do stuff, I appreciate constructive criticism. But if you're going to tell me how to do something and come with a check, okay? Because I have a full-time job. YouTube is not my full-time job, just so you know. So when you start getting in here telling me, directing me, please attach a check or let me know how you're going to cash at me to tell me what and how to do this job. Or if you have a channel, then I propose you do it your way. I don't mind, again, I do not mind the people who are coming, telling me, improve it. But when you get a little sarcastic and all this and that and you don't have a channel and you don't sit up here and do it, it's a little annoying. So just so you know, save your energy because you will be blocked. I know people say, oh, I don't block people. It's good for the engagement. It is. But sometimes y'all just catch me on a bad day. I work 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours a day and do this. So if you're not doing the same thing, get off my nuts. Okay. So back to the nice. Thank you. Welcome to the channel, Laugh, Gags, and Gossip. And I just thank you, everybody who's here. I have been doing a lot of research on the Shanquella Robinson case. And we all know that this is corrupt, is unfair. There's just so much. And I'm going to take myself off the screen because I don't typically do live. That's just not my thing. But I just kind of want to talk about some things that have been going on with the case and things that, I think or things that I found out and how I feel about it, because there's a lot of information going out there now about the corruption in terms of the reports and everything. Exactly. Then people really get on here like they your boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, and you need to do. It's like, okay. I mean, I'm a pretty easygoing person, and I'm like, okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. But then some people just get a little bit rambunctious with it, and it's like I understand we are not full-time news anchors or reporters. A lot of us are doing this, like sometimes I typically get up at 4:30 in the morning and get on the road to go to a job. So I'm doing this and staying up at nights to bring information. Some of it is valid, some of it isn't. But for those of you who are interested in the case, we try to bring you everything that we can, right? We try to package it and bring it to you so that for those that are interested. A lot of these videos are not even monetized because of the content, So when people get in here and they try to be, facetious or just try to condemn people and myself as well as other content creators, it's just enough, So I really didn't want to say that. But tonight I'm just like, okay, listen. I started to play Drake, that song where he say, nice for what, mother? You gotta be nice for what to these. Because some people make you go there. Well, anyway, let me go to the comments. Who's disrespecting you? You know what? Honestly, I hate to say this, but I just already blocked a couple of them because I'm like, I'm not doing it. If you don't like the content, if you don't like me, let me help you out. Let me do a favor for you. Don't unsubscribe. I'll block you. Okay, how about that? That way we're all good. Scorpion Miss says, good evening, everyone. I like it over here. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And I thank everybody. Gigi sent a lot of people over. Oh, and since we're on live, just so you guys know, I have been saying I'm doing a $100 giveaway for Thanksgiving and everything. For those of you, and I'm not going to be on here long, but put your cash apps in the comments if you want to. I said I was going to give away $100, but I think I'm going to give away $250, for subscribers, just for Thanksgiving, just to show my appreciation. I thank you guys for, coming over here. I thank you guys for supporting me. So if any of you guys need that little extra something for tomorrow for the kids or whatever, go ahead and put your Cash App. And when this is over, I will be Cash Apping 2 people. Stacy, thank you. Thanks for appreciating me. Sometimes we need it because some of y'all can be just kind of, okay. First time on your channel, got here by accident. Okay, it's okay. And I'm here for it, sis. I don't like when the comment section is full of rude folks. Right. I mean, and it's okay. I don't mind the constructive criticism. A lot of times when I'm doing these videos, just so you guys know, I mean, I'm sure you catch some of the bloopers, some of the errors. I am trying to do this before I get on the road to go to work. And so I'm like working, it's dark outside or whatever, then get home. My commute is an hour and stuff. So I'm tired. So, apologies if it's not polished as it should be. I get that. But we don't have, people here helping us. Okay, I see the Cash Apps in the comments. Perfect, because I will be giving it away at the end of this. And this happy Thanksgiving to you, to the subscribers. Again, I appreciate you guys. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. And I want to send a shout out to Gigi because she has really been promoting my channel. Gigi Gossip Girl XOXO. I know most of you guys are already subscribed to her. But yeah, Gigi has been awesome. So let's jump into some of this Shanquella Robinson stuff. So one of the things, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm trying to find out as much as I can about, you kind of just want to know, like, who were these people that she was on this trip with, right? Like, you want to get a feel for the people. That's just me. Like when the Kenneka Jenkins case was out, I was like researching that case like crazy. I was actually hoping that I could hack into some of the phones to figure out who did it so I could solve the case. I mean, that's just how crazy I get with stuff like this. I know it's crazy. But that's how I get, okay? But again, this case, is just seeing the video, seeing how they, oh my God, when you watch it, one day I was at work and I was about to eat lunch and I just, because I was just pouring over some information, lost my appetite, literally just lost my appetite. It's like every time you see it, it's like, why, who would do something like that? And just to have the people standing around watching it and filming it, it's just unbelievable. And I think that's why so many people are taken aback with this case, because it could be anybody in your family. We all just one pew away. I mean, seriously, we need to have more empathy and love for each other, because we all just one pew away from this happening to us. Unfortunately, it has happened to my family. So that might be another reason why I get so obsessed with these cases. I don't know. But yeah, Kenneka Jenkins, totally. It was just a lot. Scorpion says happy Thursday. So the comments are coming in, and again, put your Cash Apps in there, and I can't read them all because I want to kind of get to some of the stuff that I want to talk about. So I don't know if you guys know, but I found, we have been trying to locate Winter, right? We have a little bit of information on Dejanay, whatever that woman's name is, Jackson. But the person that they're saying, allegedly, this video is supposed to be out there with Winter and her actually jumping on Shanquella. So we're still waiting. Last week, they said it was going to be released last Friday. Still, they haven't released the video. And at this point, I guess I don't know. Do we really need to see it? We know what they did, but I think a lot of us really do want to see that video. I follow for a week and every day my head be spinning. Yes, it's just crazy. So I have been trying to find a winner. So, and I found IG pages and I found some information, and people are saying that those are fake IG pages. But what you guys have to remember, if you are really following this story, they have created backup pages. They have gone live. They have contacted the North Carolina beat, the young man, Gerald Jackson, and these people are still talking. they have disconnected their phones, but they are still popping up with different little most of the Facebook pages have been disabled for sure. But in terms of the IG pages, I got a second IG page. So, and I'm an old woman, please. So, in terms of people saying no. Well, there was a rumor that an arrest warrant has been issued, but I haven't seen any proof of that at this point. It's just rumored to be. Thank you, Sergeant King. Yes, can you guys please hit the like button? Thank you. Gina says she doesn't want to see the video. I am the type of person, I just kind of want to lay eyes on everything. I don't know why, but that's just me. I like to see if I can. If it's out there, I want to see. Miss Lackey says, hello, host and chat. Hey, girl. Thumbs up. Thank you. Winter Donovan. Yes. Winter has a YouTube channel, and I found it earlier today. I did a video on that, so we're going to take a look at, and y'all gotta bear with me because I don't do lives frequently. So just give me a second. We're gonna go check out Winter's YouTube page. Because I was just like, I just had to find as much. I've just been looking for anything that I can find on her. I have been trying to find. So let's see. Okay. So there was a video earlier today. Sean Davy Way played it where allegedly there's a woman kind of talking about what occurred. It's not necessarily a confession, but she's kind of trying to explain that it wasn't the fractured, the broken neck or the fractured back that caused her to, pass, but that it was the alcohol poisoning. And it sounds like she's trying to make it like her family is lying about it. But let's listen to, because I want to listen to that video of her, the girl that we think is Winter, and this girl right here. So this is who we think Winter. Well, we know is Winter because I did some research to find out the school she went to, and this is the same school that allegedly Shanquella Robinson went to. The ages would be about right, and it looks like her. So this is interesting to me. Let me try to make it bigger for you guys. Let me try to make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. But I think this is Winter Donovan, and it's kind of crazy because she's talking about anxiety. Well, hell, you should have some anxiety if what happened was you. So let me know if you guys can see it.
What do you think that anxiety is? When you're nervous about something. Yeah, pretty good. What do you think OCD is? I think OCD is a cleaning disorder. Like when you want to clean everything, but I also think OCD can come in like different forms. So like if you want to have OCD with your body or OCD with like your really want things like that.
So that's Winter in the red. Do you see that little evil smirk she gave? For some reason, she just seemed evil to me.
Well, anxiety is being nervous about certain things. It might be a test, football game, a job interview.
That's good. All right. You know what OCD is? Okay. Can you elaborate on that as well?
OCD is when a person has to have something a certain way. They make things a certain way. If it's getting bothered, they would know because it's not the way they go.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's so low.
That's pretty good. Hey, how are you today? Hey, how are you? All right. Do you know what anxiety is? Is it like having the fear of something? Yeah. That's all. Okay. Do you know what OCD is? Doesn't it like have to do with like being very particular about a certain object, or you have to do a certain routine every day or something? Yeah. Pretty good. Do you think that you have experienced OCD or anxiety before? Well, I experience anxiety a lot when it comes to college and heights. I really get anxiety on heights, so that's really good. Yeah. Do you know anybody with OCD? Yeah, my sweet mate has OCD.
Nope.
Hey, how are you today?
Good.
That's good. All right. Do you know what anxiety is?
A fear of something.
Okay. You know what OCD is?
I guess being clean, cleaning stuff.
You said bad interviewing. I ain't gonna say ish about that because some of y'all told me I'm bad too.
Do you know anyone, or have you ever experienced anxiety or OCD?
Well, I experienced anxiety during like football games or interviews or presenting something.
Okay, thank you. Hey, how are you doing today? I'm good. How are you?
It does look like her.
All right. Do you know what anxiety is? Yes.
Girl, you
Anxiety
about to know
is
what
when
it is.
you, like you kind of like are scared. You like hyperventilate a lot, and you like.
Wow.
Like my mother, she has anxiety, so like she gets up and she be freaking out. So yeah. Do you know what OCD is? OCD is when like everything has to be neat and you can't have like a sock on the floor, you can't step on a crack. Yeah. Okay, thank you. How are y'all doing today?
How you doing today?
Can I ask you guys a couple of questions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you know what anxiety is?
Yes. Yeah, it's like when you get stressed out, stuff like that, before a game or something like that. Butterflies. A lot of butterflies.
Yes, correct. All right. Do you guys know what OCD is?
Basically, when you start cleaning, like you feel you need to clean, you don't clean. Or like some people can't step on cracks. Like I don't know why, but
Okay, thank you. Hey, how are you doing today?
how you doing?
I'm good. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
She seems so meek, and I mean, she don't see, you know. But of course, people don't, you know.
Like you got a bad feeling about something.
Yeah, that's almost accurate. You know what OCD is?
It's like when something got to be like straight and you're rolling, or you got like a problem, like you got to clean up everything, or everything got to be like color coordinated.
Do you know anxiety, or have you ever experienced anxiety or OCD?
Hey,
How y'all doing today?
Good, how are you?
All right. So, may I ask y'all some questions?
Sure.
First off,
Okay, so basically, that was her. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video. So that was her, and I have done, you know, a little bit of research, well, quite a bit of research to understand that her and it seems like her and Shanquella actually attended school at the same time, right? And so some people were saying that Dejanay, Alice, whatever the girl's name is, that they were closer, that it was the three of them that were closer, Dejanay, Alice, and who was the other person? Oh, and Winter, that those three were actually closer than, you know, and that they were the core clique. But now as I'm kind of going back and looking over information, it looks like she may have known them just as long as she knew Winter. So I really don't know that connection there. I'm still trying to put those pieces together. Let me see what the comments are saying. And I apologize, you guys. I'm probably a little bit behind. If the families are hiding them, they should be held accountable. Oh, okay. So you guys saw that video. So we know that is Hunter, that Winter. That's a younger Winter. It looks like she has some connection to Shanquella, maybe college. I don't know if they were in the same year or their paths probably definitely crossed. So they knew each other. Now, in terms of the other people, I still got to follow the breadcrumbs and see if I can make a connection and see how far back they knew each other. Now, this is a good point that Angela Foxworth is making. If the families are hiding them, they should be held accountable. So I had people saying today that, you know, because Nazir was going live. If he's gone live. He's also had a phone call with Gerald of the North Carolina Beat. And so somebody was saying, well, I don't believe that they're going online and talking. First of all, they're young people. They've made some critical errors. I do believe that they are going online because a lot of the numbers that we've been able to uncover with just different documents that people didn't black out, those are disconnected. So, I mean, I don't know any other way that they would be able to communicate. Of course, they probably have friends in common and things like that. But for this newer, younger generation, the way that they communicate is online, IG, cell phones, laptops. It's virtual communication. That's what it is. So I do believe that they are, shutting or privating their IG pages, Facebook pages, creating new ones, DMing people. I believe it. That also happened in the Kanika Jenkins case. So that's number one. Are their families hiding them? Probably, absolutely. Because think about it. If these kids, young adults are in their mid 20s, maybe 25, 26, 27. I have a 22-year-old. And so if something were to happen with her at this point in her life, it's probably, I'm going to be definitely right there helping her navigate through it. First thing that a parent would do, I would think, would be take your ass down. If you didn't do it, we got to go. And if you did do it, we still got to go. Because right now, as they're saying, obstruction of justice. If you didn't do anything, you need to go talk about it. We've seen so many of these cases go amok because people weren't up front. So now it looks like you're well, we know you're hiding something, but that's the first thing. So somebody got in my comments and said, well, I'm sure they're all lawyered up. That's why they're not talking. For ma'am, first of all, if you have an attorney, that's the very first thing they're going to tell you to do. They're going to give you some statements. That's what an attorney is for, to represent you and defend you. They don't tell you to run from the authorities. That's not what an attorney does. I was just like surprised to think that people think that an attorney would tell you go into hiding, because they would risk losing their license or being disbarred. That's obstruction of justice. The attorney is there to represent you as legal counsel, to protect you and to give you your rights and to try to put together a case so that you have a defense, but not to tell you to go into hiding. So come on, we got to think about that. So I'm going to the comments. She looks like she doesn't even want to do that. Girl, listen, this clearly was it was for school. We know it was for school because she only has one video on that channel. Is she a school teacher or something? That's cool. I don't know, but what I'm thinking, so as we started hearing information about her making the medical decisions about whether or not to take Shanquella to the hospital, I feel that's twofold. Mainly because she probably, again, these are all allegations. And for the people who don't like allegations, because some of y'all be, why you gotta speculate? If you don't like speculation, please leave. And number two, in terms of somebody said, oh, all of this information is bogus. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Hell, the damn Mexican authorities is lying. So we won't know nothing for a very long time because it looks like all of them are corrupt as well. None of the documentation seems to be factual, right? So please save it. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, is she a school teacher? I was thinking that just based on her interviewing, it looks like maybe she was some kind of a psych, is a class for psych. I don't know if she was a pre-med student. I have no idea. But I was thinking maybe that's why she was taking the lead based on what we're seeing in these reports about not taking Shanquella to the doctor because she thinks she has some kind of a medical training via her school, or she's just guilty as hell and just knew that if she goes into the hospital, there's going to be more questions asked. So let's see. What does she do for a living now? I don't know. I saw something that said that she was an entrepreneur, but I don't know how true that is. It also said that she was biracial. I know some people are saying that she's a Latina, but I just saw that she was biracial. Has any of them reported to their jobs if they have one? I did see one YouTuber who has been following this, and she's saying that as of last week, Dejanay had a job. It's kind of like a real estate job or something. And she's asking that people reach out to her. The YouTube channel, it's Danny, and I can't think of the full name. It's Danny, the truth teller. I know she is doing videos. You guys go check her out. She's doing videos about, the various people involved, the Cabo Six, and she did talk about their employment. From what you guys know, they don't have jobs right now. They can't go to work. An employer would be like, no. She's just playing for the camera. Oh, thank you, Sergeant. Yes, please like. Oh, somebody said journalism major. Maybe. But even as a journalism major, maybe, I don't know. People called their places, called places of employment. I don't think any of them have been to work. Well, we do know that they have been running from the authorities, so I know they're not going to work. you know they're not going to work. We have heard that Dejanay has left and gone to Connecticut to be with her mom, which to me is kind of odd as well, because if people know that she's gone with her mom, that to me would mean that they would know where to find her. So I'm inclined to believe that these people, have taken up with places that they know that the FBI or the authorities won't find them quickly. She didn't know them as Stacey. I'm glad. Okay, so I'm Charlotte, and the news just announced that arrest warrants have been issued, but it didn't say for who. Okay, we had heard that earlier. Thank you. Aloma West, can you please put in the chat which news channel or news outlet you heard that on, so that we can confirm that information, verify it, because we heard that earlier, but we haven't seen it like in an official form. So thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, for those of you that are just joining, I am doing a Thanksgiving giveaway. I was going to do $100 giveaway, but I'm going to do two $250 giveaways. So put your Cash Apps in the chat if you want me to consider you. And this is for Thanksgiving. And, a thank you to all of you guys who have been supporting my channel and the videos. Harboring a fugitive. Exactly. So I wanted to talk about a couple things. So let me go here. So they've been talking about this whole thing about and you guys jump in the chat. You guys could disagree with me. Let's just all get along. We could all be respectful. Okay. So this whole thing about the alcohol poisoning and that the friends lied to the authorities. I do believe that they lied. But let me just say, and this is nowhere in defense of them. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Nowhere in defense of them. But for a person who is not a clinician, who is not medical, anytime you have a head injury, it can present itself as a person being drunk. So if you go online, if you look up, if you've had, for those of us who are mothers and we've had children, if your child has ever had a concussion or anything, you know that a head injury can cause them to be a little disoriented. It can cause vomiting. It can cause seizures. And you know that for the first 24 hours, they have to be monitored very closely. So the night before, when we see the videos the night before of Shanquella, when they're all at the table and they saying drink, drink, drink. So we can assume that they all had some liquor. We've seen videos. Again, we're just going by facts. Of course, this is an emotional case, but let's just kind of look at the facts, not victim shaming, not blaming anybody, but let's just kind of go through the facts. If they were all out, we hear them talking about drink, 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 and it appears to be Shanquella's video, her videotaping it, and she's one of the people saying drink, drink, drink. So we know that maybe she had some liquor. Not saying that she was intoxicated, not saying that she overdid it, none of that. But we can assume that there was some drinking amongst all of them. That's an assumption. Now, there have also been videos where we've seen Shanquella doing a little bit of herbal essence. So my point is that they were all probably having a good time. Nothing unusual for them to have some spirits, maybe a little smoke or whatever. I don't know if it was hookah. I don't know if it was marijuana. I don't know. But we know that these ladies, they like to have a good time, and that's okay, right? So if she was drinking that night and the next day, whatever occurred, I don't know what occurred, but maybe after she may have been a little bit, whatever. Maybe they were thinking that she was tipsy or whatever. After that fight happened, after that occurred, I would say most definitely, because I've had a hangover before. And usually you kind of tired and lethargic and everything. But after that fight, I would say that those head injuries and the way that girl Dejanay flung her around, that could definitely make a person appear to be, spacey. It could present itself as a person being inebriated. So the reason I say that is because when the police came, or the nurse or the medical people, and I'm not going to get deep into that now. We're just going to do high level stuff. When they came, of course, when the kids, well, not the kids, these young lying adults told them that she had been drinking, okay, you guys are in Cabo. The first assumption would be that that's not a red flag. You guys are on vacation. Yeah, they're just drinking going on. The second thing is when they possibly saw that she was somewhat bruised and the injuries, think about it, you guys. What did they say? Oh, she was drunk. She fell. She did this. She hurt herself. Because you know why? I'm just thinking how the medical people even believe this ish, right? I'm just thinking. So medical people are not necessarily police officers. They're not investigators. So when they first come on the scene and you telling them, oh, this person got drunk and they fell out, or they fell down a flight of stairs or something, they probably are going to be like, oh, yeah, okay. And I'm not, listen, please, y'all, listen. We just looking at different scenarios as to why they allowed this ish to go on. I do think there was something a little bit more nefarious with this. I do believe that they took a bribe and all that, but let's look at how initially they could have bought some of this story, right? So when a person has a head injury, they get sluggish. They are, they can't really do stuff. In terms of a broken neck, I really don't know about that. What I did my research, I've heard that, or I saw that with the broken neck, you will be in excruciating pain depending on where the vertebrae or all those things are broken. I ain't even gonna pretend I know all that stuff, but that you can actually. I actually saw a video of a young lady who had a broken neck. She was a gymnast, and she actually was able to move and do things after her neck was broken. And it wasn't detected until hours later, and she was still moving. So I could see how the early responders didn't necessarily know that her back was broken or her neck. So let's think about this. If a nurse came, and we already know that these people are a little bit shady, they're not looking. Okay, let's think about this. When you go to the doctor, I mean, we've all probably had x-rays, right? When you go to get an x-ray, if you got something wrong with your spine or your neck or anything, an arm, or you have to get an x-ray. You could tell them I have pain here, but they're not going to be able to determine it until they do an x-ray, right? So when the police officers came, when the doctors came, they would have no way to really assess the bones or any breakage. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, you guys, I'm really behind. So I'm going to just go all the way down and see if anybody has any, let's see. Not really even Benadryl shows up. But okay, so I'm gonna keep this up because I want to address that too. In terms of the broken bones and everything, the police officers, that's not their job. They're not there to do forensic investigations on a body. They are there to get custody of evidence. They are there to make notes. They are there to interview people. So, and that's probably what they did. Again, we're talking about Mexico, so I'm sure, listen, not to, it's a different country, and their rules and how they do things is probably very different. But the officers, the police officers, their first job is really to assess what they see, get evidence, interview people. And then if they see a body, of course, document the condition of the body, but they would have no way of really giving a thorough medical examination. That's not their job. I don't even know if they can manipulate the body. So that's number one when we talk about the discrepancies. So what the officers observed would be definitely different, in my opinion, than what would be in the autopsy or the medical report. The autopsy would go in depth and be able to examine every bit of the body, the neck, the bones, tissues, bruising, swelling, all of those things, right? So we got the officer saying one thing. We got the people who first arrived, the nurse, the doctors, all of those people with the IVs. We got them lying. And now we got the autopsy. So we probably know that the autopsy is probably the most accurate. But the problem is that they closed the case And it was like, it was nothing, right? So that's the first problem. The first thing that they did was act like it was, she had some beating and this and that, but they didn't document it very well, and they probably didn't preserve evidence very well, right? So now we got the autopsy, we got the police report, we have the nurse saying things. All of these people are conflicting. We have money that allegedly was stolen, okay? But now, so we know that a head injury can present itself as intoxication or a person being inebriated, right? We do know that. They have no way of really knowing for a fact. Well, they can examine your pupils and all of that. But again, we in Mexico, again, they're, first arrivers thinking she needs to get to a hospital. They want her to go to the hospital because they want to be able to examine and use the tools at the hospital that they can't do just coming to a villa, coming to a room. That's why you go to the doctor. But we know that the friends barred that from happening, right? So we got an autopsy. We have the medical report, the police officers. We have the doctors. Everybody keeps talking about there was no alcohol poisoning. We still don't know that to be a fact because, you know why? Did they do a toxicology report? An autopsy and a toxicology report are two different things. And we know that they weren't thorough from the beginning, right? That's one of the things that I'm thinking about is when everybody said, and I'm not saying that, because I really think that the injuries, she sustained, excuse me, y'all. I think that the injuries she sustained from the beatings is what hey, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm just saying what I believe. I think that's what caused her to pass. But the only way that we can know definitively, forensically, the kind of stuff that goes to court, not based on our emotions or what we think because we saw a video, there has to be a toxicology report. Now, we know, you don't even have to be in medicine or a biologist or a scientist to know this. Typically, when people die, and the Tierra Latrice show, you guys go check out her channel. She's an up-and-coming YouTube content creator as myself. Go check her out. She's been staying on top of this story as well. Go check her out and subscribe to her channel. So we do know that when people die, and like when they have the overdose and all this stuff, typically we be seeing, oh, did he OD? How long did it take? We be wanting to know. And what do they typically tell us? Oh, a toxicology report, you'll find out in maybe a month or two. I think typically at least 2 months. We know that in Mexico, they probably didn't take all the fluids and do everything they should have done. It was an open and shut case. Yeah, they did the autopsy. That's easy. They examined the body. Oh, we see a broken neck, vertebrae, and, and did they test her fluids? And also, I also read something that said that they didn't say anything about alcohol, but it wasn't even on one of the first report. Did not even have a box for alcohol. Like, they did not check it. Well, let me clarify. It said there was, let me be even more specific. And I probably need to go back and find it because I was just shocked. One of the first documents that was found and said that there was not even a box to check to say whether or not they checked for alcohol. Like, that wasn't even part of the examination. So that's number one. So when we look at all of these pieces, when these people are called to justice and they got to go to court, what's one of the first things that their attorneys are going to argue? First of all, the case was botched. We see this is the problem with everybody sitting up there saying, oh, there's a discrepancy and they don't align. That's the very first thing that an attorney will use as a technicality. The case was botched. The information, the tissues, the evidence probably was not gathered correctly, was not preserved correctly. Did y'all even examine? I don't know how quickly things deteriorate after a person passes, but the very first thing that everybody keeps saying about, oh, it's the conflicting and the that they took a bribe and all of this, all of those things are going to work in their favor, guys. That's the problem. That is the big, what's that word? I don't know what they say, but that's the damn big elephant in the room, because now you have given them come on, somebody get in the comments and tell me. Y'all know what it's called. When you can't prove something to the fullest, reasonable doubt. There we go. Because now, was it alcohol poisoning, or was it the fight, or was it the doctor? Because now we're getting reports that the doctor had an IV and it didn't work, and they worked on it for X amount of time, and that didn't. So who really is responsible here? Now they have somewhat of a arguable alibi. Then another thing that came to mind is okay, so we're getting, oh, thank you, Jesus. I'm just getting, okay, I see you guys saying arrest warrants have been issued. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you. Oh, I want to end this live right now so I can go see these arrest warrants. I got to get on my knees and say, thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Amen. Thank you for, oh Lord, I'm excited, y'all. Forgive me. Okay, so arrest warrants have been issued. So now we're going to start getting the truth of what occurred. Well, some truth mixed with lies, of course. But another thing that really was weird to me was this whole thing about the $17,000. I do believe that these people paid the doctors and the first responders. I don't know what they said or what they did, but how would these people know that she had $17,000? Because people keep talking about, oh, she had $17,000 that they took. Who travels like that? I mean, hell, I work. I don't travel like that, but I didn't know that people carried such large sums of money when they go abroad. So somebody told me, when I questioned this earlier in another video, somebody made the comment that maybe they mean in pesos. I don't know the currency in Mexico. I mean, I thought pesos were the coins. So I don't know how their money currency works, but that seems like a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money to travel with. And are they saying that she has $17,000 in, or pesos or Mexican money in cash? And if she had it, this is another thing that's interesting. Did the friends tell them? Like, did they go, because they're saying it was stolen. Was it stolen, or did the friends give it to them? Like to change the documentation? There's just so many questions here, so many things that don't add up. So I was on the mother's page, so I thought it was her page. And to be honest, y'all, shout out to the plainest Jane, because she is a person that's very, very thorough, much more thorough than myself. Okay. I like high level. I'm a high level type of person, right? The peripheral stuff. She said that the mother's page, Shanquella Robinson, there's a page that's given all this information and all these details. And I think right about now, because I started following it as well, that's not her mother's page. So if you guys see it, it is not her mother. So it's a troll account. But this page actually, because initially when I heard that $10,000, well, I first heard that $6,000 was stolen, then $10,000. And so I said, well, I can't confirm it, but this is what's being reported. And I found a Facebook page, and Gerald Jackson of the NCB came out, and the person who's been like an unofficial spokesperson who has interviewed the father as well as the sister. He said the family has never said that any money was stolen from her. That's what he said on Tuesday. I apologize, Monday. But then there were reports, like I said, hopping around Twitter and everything, that $6,000 was stolen. So what I'm understanding, no, it wasn't $6,000 stolen. That was the money that the father, or that they had to use to get the body back. And then $10,000. That is what was reported on this alleged troll page for Salamandra, which the plaintiff Jane said is not her mom. There's a little post that she put up. It was proven that $10,000 was stolen from Shanquella. So it turns out that may not be true either. It turns out that may be a false page and they're putting out false information. Now, the reason I really do believe the plaintiff Jane is because, again, she's very thorough, but also because if you go to this site, let me, as a mother, I mean, I don't know how old Salamandra is, but my daughter's 22. And I'm not as savvy on IG, and I be saying IG story, IG page. I get it all confused. I do. I don't know any mother, and I shout out to her because she's a very strong woman. I see her, fighting hard for her daughter. She's standing up there. She's giving interviews. She's keeping herself composed. I have not seen her break down, although everybody would understand if she did. But this woman is her and the father. They are making sure that their daughter gets justice, and I applaud that. I said before, we've had a death in my family. My cousin was murdered, a young girl murdered, and my family crumbled. It was just devastating. So when I see somebody like Salamandra stand up and continue to fight, I salute her, because it's a very painful, devastating experience. But when I did follow the IG page, and I said, well, damn, she's doing a lot for a mom who has just lost her daughter. Like, she's very IG savvy to be posting and all of these things. And it seemed a little bit too upbeat to me. Like, in the time of grieving for something this tragic, it just seemed odd to me. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I did have one of those moments where I was like, interesting. Okay. I was like, well, okay, Salamandra. So what we're finding out is that may not even be a real page. And it's sad because people are going out there making fake pages, putting up GoFundMes that the family has not even asked for, and just taking advantage of the situation. Is really sick and disgusting. I hear there was also a woman out there pretending to be her cousin, which was odd because I saw a little bit of it. After I saw about 5 minutes of it, I said, this woman's lying, because she was like, somebody needs to tell the parents, they need to get this. It's like, aren't you a relative? Then somebody should be you, right? So anyway, that was proven to be not true. So let me see. So we talked about, I'm just looking over my notes real quick. We talked about the fact that a brain injury and alcohol poisoning could appear to be the same. So that may have been why the physicians there kind of bought the story initially. But again, they wanted her to go to the hospital, but the friends, Winter and them, didn't want her to. We also saw the video of Winter. I wanted to play that video of the girl who sounded like Winter, but I do think it's her, because like I said before, I can't find it this quickly. But I do think it sounds like her, and I do believe that these accounts that are popping up, I do believe it's them. Just like Nasir went online and started giving, talking about giving his alibi and his defense. These young people, that's what they do. Oh, this is my final point. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end on this. So one of the things in terms of whether or not this was planned or an accident. So, my daughter, she took criminology or whatever, and so we were talking about it. We were just having a discussion. And we were debating this. And I said, no, they planned it, because I saw the video of, I think it was Khalil over her body with her sleeping, saying, we got our first body, dead body. But my daughter had a great point, which it was like a duh moment for me. She said, well, if they did plan on doing it, it wasn't very calculated or precise. And why would they call for help? If they intended to do this before, from the beginning, if this was a plot and a plan, why would they ever call to get medical attention for her? And that just kind of blew my whole theory away. Now, and I'm going to go in the comments and let you guys, if anybody wants to respond to that for me, because I was like, oh, I really didn't have a good comeback. Because when I think about it, I kept saying, well, Khalil said, da-da-da. And she was like, well, young people, that's what we say. And I'm like, she was like, if somebody goes to sleep early, they'll knock out. That's not uncommon for young people to make crazy comments like that or be playful. Denise says, just read 3 articles but it doesn't say who the arrest warrant issued for. Plus, will there be more than one? They said the aggressor. All of them need to go down. I definitely ordered a carbon monoxide reader. Yeah, oh Lord, y'all. Okay, I'm about to get off in a second. Fox News today released a video. I didn't see the video, but I did read a bit of the article. They are warning Americans not to come to Mexico. I don't want to get too detailed here because I didn't read the whole article, but right now it's not safe travels for us over there. So just anybody who wants to go, look it up for yourself. It's Fox News, and I know a lot of us don't follow Fox. It just happened to catch my eye, and it was saying that it's not safe for Americans. They mentioned something about kidnapping, and then when the picture showed a man who was on the ground, it looked like he had been shot. So with the 3 that died over there, I did a video about that. Not only did those 3 die, it was 2 other ones for something that they drank at the bar. Just a lot of weird things going over there. And the 3 people that died, the 3 Black people that died in the Airbnb from the allegedly carbon monoxide, that was the weekend of the Day of the Dead, which is almost like with Shanquella as well. Shanquella, we kind of know something happened, but do we think that there's some organ harvesting going on? It's something going on. And as we can see, like, think about it. Now that we see what they're saying for Shanquella, do we really believe that it's monoxide poisoning? Like, we can't believe nothing that they put in their documents. Like, they're corrupt. I mean, that really gives you a side eye right there. And we know that they don't want to say what is really happening because of tourism. Tourism is going to plummet. That's without a doubt. With this whole thing with Shanquella, people are starting to say, it may not be so safe. Now, if you live in California, everybody knows that the kids, that's where they go. They just go across the border. Because if you're in LA and down in Southern Cal, that's kind of like the go-to party place. And shit is always happening. But everybody knows, we all tell our kids, you got to be careful. Because if you go, and I've been, you got to, if something happens, you got to pay them off. They want some money. It's just not a safe place to travel. And that's where a lot of the young I don't want to say teenagers, the young college kids go. If you in LA, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. It's just across the border. So they do get a lot of traffic from us. But with all of this stuff happening, people are saying, nope, canceling trips. Fox News talking about we need to be careful. I don't think it's a place that we want to be going. Not for me. Yeah, somebody wait. Somebody, I thought I saw somebody say not anymore. Exactly. I mean, it's not far from me because I'm in California, but I wanted to go to Cabo. One of my coworkers was just there that weekend that all this happened, and he was telling me, oh, him and his girl stayed at Nobu. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. Shh, please. I want to stay right where I am, okay? No traveling to Mexico for me. Exactly. I heard about that. Yeah, 3 people died of the carbon monoxide, but prior to that, there were maybe 2 or 3 other incidents, a couple and then a woman. And then somebody even told me that on the night of the week that the 3 Black people died in the Airbnb, that there was another death up the road at another Airbnb. And that's another thing we need to think about. Staying in the Airbnbs aren't so safe. Because do you guys remember about 6 months ago, 6 months to a year, there was a young lady who was staying in the Airbnb and she came up missing, and they found out she was supposed to have an Uber or something, and they found out that the grounds person who was associated with the Airbnb actually took her out. Like, you don't know these people. I'm really going to venture to say staying in a hotel is probably safer because you have more hotel protocols and just things that they can and can't do. Staying in somebody's home who has access to their own home, no security, you don't know what the hell you are. You walking into a damn near dungeon in a prison. You don't know. And that's another thing. I think at one of the Airbnbs, they even found out the people had secret cameras. I mean, it's just too much. Neek Q. Hey, Neek. I heard Winter is allegedly in there. Okay. So earlier, if you're just joining, I saw a video where she was doing this whole thing about anxiety and everything. So I was wondering if she thought she was like a pre-med student or something. So maybe that's why she didn't allow them. The situation with Shanquella has nothing to do with it being in Mexico. Her so-called American friends had her on this trip, and they planned this from America. I suggest resort. Okay, so just being me, Sparks, I disagree. So I'm going to say I don't know that they planned it, because if they did plan it, why did they call for help? Because if they did plan to do it to her, why didn't they just go through with the plan and just discard her body or do something? The fact that they call for help lets me know that something went wrong. If you're planning to off somebody, you just off them. You don't have this much a trail of evidence and call people for help to help the person that you're planning to, that doesn't make sense to me. That's number one. And you said it has nothing to do with Mexico. Well, I'm not saying it has anything to do with Mexico. What I am going to say is that the fact that it was there and the way that they handled it may be more about the way the Mexican locals handle things versus her being in the U.S. I'm not saying that they did. Well, I'm not saying that they caused her initial injuries, but it sounds like they botched the case. And now that we're finding out there's so many discrepancies, and now that we're hearing that people were paid off, and the fact that we know that allegedly there's a lot of corruption in Mexico, yeah, I would say it has a little bit to do with Mexico. Just the way they handled it. After the fact, after something occurred, maybe they didn't handle it great. That's what I'm going to say about Mexico. Like, I wouldn't want to be in her position in that country. I would probably prefer to be here. So I'm not blaming Mexico. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, maybe the way they handled it and the fact that they're Black Americans and all of the things that we hear about Mexico. Yeah, I'm going to kind of disagree with you on that. But I respect your opinion. Everybody, hey, we all have our opinions, right? I'm missing a lot of comments. I'm just going to jump in here. Yep, hotel is best for security sakes. So Sergeant King, I had a woman, I was on a chat with her maybe about a week ago, and she's a security person. And this lady has traveled all, over. She's been to like multiple countries, I would say about 10. And she said that it is best to stay in hotels versus Airbnbs. And she also said, when you travel abroad, it's better to be with a group for sure, but not that group. It's better not to stay in any one place more than 3 days. And she says, because you become a target. I'm not going to get into deep about it, but that's what she said. So I kind of believe those things. I don't believe Hanny, girl or sir, I'm with you. I'm at the point now where I'm just petrified, like, because you don't know. When my daughter was younger, we were in Paris. And I don't speak French. Hell, I shouldn't even been over there. She was like 3, and she, has allergies, and she got sick. And I was panicked, like, and the French were like, "Ooh, this is American. We have great doctors here," and I was like, I don't give a damn. I am in a foreign country. I don't speak your language. Because she was just having a asthma attack, and I couldn't communicate. So I panicked. So I understand what it's like to be in another country and not know their medicines. But to be honest, because I had to go to the hotel concierge and they were getting a hospital doctor and all this stuff. And the guy told me, we have, just so you know, I'm trying to mimic a French accent, but you can't. He said, just so you know, we have better medicines than you do in your country. He was pissed because he was like, you act like you're in a third world country. Yeah, I'm somewhere from home, sir. But anyway, they gave me some, her eyes were swelling up and stuff, and they gave me some drops that actually worked better than the medications I got in the States. So it was kind of funny, but I do understand when you go abroad, you just don't know. You don't know. Nurse 007 girl, 007 girl. She says, I'm good on Mexico. Never on my list of places to visit anyway. I've been a few times, if you go with the group or because some of our cruises, you off board for the day and get back on. But after this, I don't know. Oh, somebody said nurse of death. It's always someone close to you that will harm you. That's true, Jazzy. Now that is a fact. That is definitely a fact. Yes. I've read that as well. We still ain't going to Mexico. I mean, that's not on my listen, y'all. I wanted to go to Dubai, but I'm like, okay, I'm in California. I'm gonna start going to local places. Let me find the beauty and explore my little local destinations. I don't know. It's just too crazy. Tammy Lynn says Jazzy 100, right? Renee says, not sure how true, but I read that Winter speaks Spanish. Oh, really? It says she's of mixed race, but I really didn't think that was Spanish because here in California, we have a huge Spanish population, and it's usually a Spanish name. Donovan, I don't know. That doesn't seem Spanish to me. I mean, it says mixed race, so maybe I don't know. Maybe. Gives bad taste in mouth. Trisha Paytas also had a really bad experience in Mexico, and she talks about it whenever her videos. Trisha Pay, I don't know who that person is, but I'll definitely gonna go look it up. But the one thing that we heard, y'all, is that there are some arrests. I haven't seen it. I'm just repeating what I've seen in the chat because y'all know I'm about to get up off of here and go see it for myself. I'm excited about that. But they could have called for help just to try to prove it wasn't planned, even though they knew two was messed up and why they didn't want her to go to the hospital. I mean, of course, all the things that they did after are going to work against them. But that's the thing, though. Okay, when they talk, if they were planning to kill her, why would they even call? Like, because now you're still putting people. Maybe I'm not articulating it correctly. If I'm gonna plan to do something and it's 6 of us, we gonna just do it. Like those shows, I Know What You Did Last Summer and all that stuff. You don't call in medical people. You don't call in the police or add additional people who could stop you because you foiled your own plan. So I don't know. You could be right, but so they're not proving anything because they called. I don't know. Unless you're saying that she was already deceased and then they called to try to pretend. But that doesn't even make sense a little bit because they said that the doctor worked on her and that she had vital signs. So, I just feel like if they were going there to unalive her, they would have just done it and found a way to call after it was all over, not have people come when she was still, I don't know, y'all. I don't have it figured out. Some Sergeant King said agreed. I don't know who he's agreeing with. I hope he agreeing with me, but no, I'm just kidding. Yes, the way this has been handled is ridiculous. They done destroyed all the damn evidence. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. So we know that it's supposed to they're supposed to be extradited back to Mexico, but we don't even know how their laws are. We don't know how thorough they're going to be in prosecuting, investigating. They done botched up all the evidence. Come on now. I would even venture to say, y'all, and we should check this out. That villa's probably already up and rented. After that situation occurred, I bet you they cleaned up. And then a couple days later, somebody had already rented it. And number 2, I wouldn't want to stay in a villa where somebody had passed. I just wouldn't, but I bet you they don't care. And, this is for another day, another topic, but this whole story about she was found over the toilet, how could that be? If the nurses came and the police came, okay, so the police would have had to come after. Who found her over the toilet? So if she was having all these seizures and they couldn't resuscitate her and they took her vital signs, when did they find her over the toilet? It just is not making sense. I wonder if they were unable to save her because of the doctor and medics wanting money. Now, I thought about that too. I was thinking, now in terms of the doctors and wanting money, I feel like, of course, the doctors wanted money. Everything is a transaction in Mexico, allegedly. But I don't think that's why they couldn't save her. It sounds like they wanted her to go to the hospital. And her mom said that they told her they needed money for her to go to the hospital. But then there's this $17,000. So these things don't align. If there was $17,000 that was stolen or given somewhere, then they would have had the money to get her to the hospital. So a lot of, the details, there's just like the mother said, they all had different stories. It's just not lining up. It's just not making sense. I get it's a different country, but let's be real, they don't care about. Hey, facts. I mean, even here where we are in California, like you would think that Mexicans or Latinos, Latinx, that we would have some kind of understanding, because just like with white supremacy, they don't like y'all either. But there are some Mexicans who really don't see Black people as, they don't like us. Like they look down on us. It's a fact. It's a fact, so in their country, I'm sure it's the same. Trisha Paytas, okay, also had a really bad. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go check that out. Let me note that real quick. Interesting. Okay, Trisha Paytas. Okay, I'm gonna go look that up. And as I said before, you guys jump in the comments. I'm giving away two people $50 for Thanksgiving. Put your cash apps in the comments, and as soon as this is over, give me a little bit of time because I am slow with stuff, but before the night is over, I will be cash apping you $50. I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has been supporting me, and I'm going to stay on top of this case. I'm so glad that there have been arrests. I got to go verify that for myself. Expert opinion says never go alone. Do all inclusive. The hotel keep track of you, check who you check in with, you view phone calls and texts. They do not want anything to happen to you. Now, see, that's another thing. I know that with this situation, that the Mexican government, they have to be a little bit concerned, because this has international coverage, and it definitely is going to. This is tourism, and they're having some issues over there. So that's why I think there may be some resolve to this case. But as I look deeper, and we're finding out the corruption and all the people who took payoffs possibly, it's like the Cabo 6, they're going to have a defense now because so many things were botched. And I don't know how their judicial system is over there, like this whole reasonable if they can say reasonable doubt, but just even talking about it, they may have some loopholes and technicalities, because the Mexican government just really screwed this up. Really, they did. It is not just you that has haters. Even the huge channels have them and say the same thing. But what they say is, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing something right. So keep going and keep growing. Natasha, I thank you. I appreciate it. It's okay. I don't mind people, correcting me, because this is not my real gig, and I'm interested in this, and I like it, and I get to talk to you guys and everything. And I'm still learning and growing, so I don't have a problem with that. Some people are just rude and mean-spirited. It's just like, come on now. What does Tabitha say? If you can't have a good day, don't go messing up somebody else's. That's what I be thinking. Like, hell, if you ain't happy, don't come don't piss on my leg. Hell, shoot. Don't piss on my wig and tell me it's conditioner, baby. Just being me says the Cabo 6 may have gotten scared and didn't know what to do. They probably planned to fight. That's what I think. But maybe didn't plan to unalive her. I understand what you mean about Mexican authorities watching it. So that's what, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. We don't know. We're going to find out. But I think that they plan to fight. I want to know why. Why did y'all plan to fight? Okay, you guys, I'm about to end this, but just being me, Sparks, just so you know, I don't know if you heard this. Elisa, or Alysse, I think that's her, Elise. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly. Hyatt, her sister was unalive that same earlier in the morning or the night before. So there are channels that are trying to say that maybe something happened, because it's so deep. It's just so much. I can't even go into it, tie all the pieces together right now. But Shanquella posted something and said, DM or send an email to all the people that flaked tonight. And some people suspect that Nasir wasn't there. Well, you know, he said he came the next day, and that Alice, or at least whatever her name is, Hyatt, that she may not have been there because of her sister. And, you know, that maybe that erupted into something because of which, who knows? We're all just speculating, right? But that's one thought. So, and then this video that is played today, again, Sean Davy Way, it's on Sean Davy Way's channel. There's a video where it's a young lady, allegedly, that is Winter, talking about the fight and saying that she wasn't in the video and she didn't hit anybody. But she's saying that Shanquella did something while she was drunk, which is ridiculous because I haven't been that intoxicated in some years. But even when I do, it's like you have to be like when you get inebriated, if you fight, that's because you're an angry type of person. Like you are who you are. When you get drunk, it brings out who you really are. And if they knew that she was drunk and she did something, I mean, don't your friends like say, girl, you was off. You was going off, girl, please. And you was drunk. And that's it. That's all. But what could she have done for you to say she did something while she was drunk so we wanted to fight? Huh? Like, I don't get that. But then again, considering what we saw, the brutality, the fighting, most of us wouldn't understand it, because who would do something like that? Who would do something like that? And then the men to stand around and egg it on and to not intervene and say, come on, y'all, to see this young lady nude, you know, period. Like, what type of young ladies are we raising? I don't have a son, so I'm not even going to speak on the men, but I'm going to say two mothers. If that were my daughter, I would be sick. I would be mortified. How dare you? Because that means somewhere, and I know kids grow up and they do what they do, and you cannot always blame the parents. But I'm gonna tell you, this is me. If my child did something like that, I mean, she gonna do stuff and they make mistakes, but that, how? Where did you learn that? Where did that? What in you? Where in your life did I allow you to think that that was even okay? So with that, y'all, I'm going to end it there. I've been on for an hour and 12 minutes, and I thank everybody that came tonight. Again, before I get off of here, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm going to keep, putting out videos. I'm going to keep making mistakes on the videos, y'all. Y'all keep correcting me kindly, respectfully, please. But put your cash apps in the chat, and I'm going to pick up two people, $50 cash apps for two people. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys be blessed. All right, bye.